I'm here with Shubh Bala Scheisser on the East by SouthEast Spoken Word Showcase. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
This is your first time on the show.
Yes.
How did you hear about us?
My friend Kay introduced me to this show.
Wonderful woman.
Yes.
So
she
much
is-
integrity and
Yes.
honor.
Yes, I love her because she's my great friend.
She is. I can only imagine being her friend because she carries herself with
Yes.
such grace. And I
Yes.
always enjoy her presence. So I'm so looking forward to hearing from you as well.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing poetry?
I have been doing for a very long time, but I'm active only for the last 2 years. I mean, I'm speaking in the public, and both my parents were poets, so I have that little bit gene in me. So I do write. I have been writing for a very long time, but I have come to the stage very lately.
What do you feel that your poetry is mostly about? Is there a theme that you see reoccur?
Yes. I was born and raised in India, and India is a feudal state and very dominating, male dominating society. I spent my first 21 years there, and I had whatever I had experienced or seen or lived. It is the basic aim of my poetry because I want to introduce to the West or to the Americans that there is a place there and it is altogether different.
Wow.
And how the women's situation is there. So I have chosen this topic today.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you so
That means
much.
everything to me because I'm Middle Eastern, and
Yes.
women's rights is so important to me.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
always pushing for women's right in the Middle East, especially. And hopefully, with so much going on with democracy and people wanting change in that area, we'll see it spread to your country and my
Yes.
country.
Yes, because even in spite of democracy and in spite of social liberties, the woman is still being suppressed.
Yes.
And she doesn't have much voice. And especially when I was growing up, I had, I had to be very obedient, submissive, and I had to follow what my parents wanted me to. They arranged my marriage. So it was just obedience. So coming to America means I'm so grateful that I'm not a failure here and I have been like a very free person, and then I can have my own voice.
I'm so happy to hear that. I sometimes think that sometimes over there they're wrong with the extreme pressure and
Yes.
rules and regulations, but sometimes I think over here is wrong with the no lack of uh, discipline or just like over there you must cover up,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But here sometimes you don't cover up
You
at
don't-
all,
yes, too
so
much.
sometimes like there needs to be a balance somewhere in
Yes,
between.
Yes, that's true.
So
We need balance in life.
yeah, we do. Well, I'm so looking forward to hearing your pieces.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak to Austin, Texas, and share your poetry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Austin, Texas, enjoy.
My mother's hands. Long knotted fingers, narrow tapered nails, and a web of blue veins knitted on the top sides of her slender palms. Lanky fingers glide on keys of the piano, playing melodies deep, borrowed from the souls of birds. While reading poetry, words flow from those hands, her mouth merely moving, while gold bangles on her arms play in the air. Oh, the language of those hands maybe only I understand. Om Shanti is a Hindi word, means peace in English. Mother's prayers of peace was a mantra, Om Shanti. The house has peace, all gods dwell there. When I became a gypsy, wandering from nation to nation, the grace and power of peace was elusive, unreal, but an echo from the shadow said, Om Shanti, peace to everyone. In those years of travel, when worry and grief slipped through the slits of my chamber, as easily as fog through night, I called for Mother. She replied, Om Shanti, be strong and humble, enjoy the hum of peace. Now, in response to every sunset prayer, she tells me to choose carefully the words I speak to my family. Each one has power, vibrates in the air. Om Shanti, your heart must beat gently, for peace is love. Indian woman. Born and brought up in Hindu traditions with her rigid restrictions, my grandmother would wash her dominating husband's feet soon after his return from work. When asked why she did that humiliating service, she replied in a monotone, It's our lot. During the so-called emancipation era, where equal opportunities were encouraged, my educated mother still had to walk 10 feet behind her husband in public. When asked why she followed that degrading custom, she replied with gloomy eyes, It is our lot. When I, the daughter, tried to break away from a bad marriage, customs prevented me. My relatives asked what people will say. I was trapped by the taboos of my father and the ancestors. When asked why I could not break that oppressive tradition, I cried like a caged bird, It is my lot. Indian widow. Married woman, wrap her in a white sari. Married woman, wrap her in a white sari, cover her freshly shaved head soon after her husband's death. Break her glass bangles and wipe the red powder from her forehead and the part of her hair. She must erase the memory of being married. Now labeled an ill omen, an outcast, a burden, jinxed, a taboo, and a living curse. She should be mindless, tongueless, desireless, mirthless. Spend her remaining years in the ashrams and the ghats of Benares, near water and temples with other unlucky ones. She will eat once a day tasteless food to suppress and tame her appetites. Will bathe repeatedly to remain pure enough to worship gods several times a day, begging them to forgive her journey of karma. Secretly, does she dream about her childhood, going to the carnival in princess finery and being treated with sweets? No, she suffocates in unfulfilled dreams, suffers lashes of birch branch on her soul. My mother. I lay quietly in her bed, covered my face with her comforter. Breathing her scent, I burst into loud cries. How quickly the place has changed. A faded bed cover and a dusty carpet. A jumbled collection, 3 rosaries, one bobby pin, sandalwood carvings of Buddha, stacks of international coins, and photos of her grandchildren. The clothes in her closet were lustreless now. I found a notebook of poems hidden in her clothes and a pair of slippers I had sent her from Tokyo. I tried to wear them exactly like mother did, not to hurt her bunion. I gathered her clothes into my arms and gave them to the house servants who had served my mother for years together. They all kissed my head, hugged me tightly, and we cried together. I searched her photograph to reaffirm her physical presence in this world. In one black and white image, now looked brown, her gaze fixed on me. I kissed it many times, pressed it to my aching heart. Beachy, Beachy, mother, mother dear. Dream catchers, arranged marriages in India. Soon she will be the property of a stranger, a master who bought her like a sheep, goat, or cow from a village stockyard, with a nose ring and brass bells ringing on her neck. Garlands of roses and jasmine will soon turn pallid and stale. Nose ring, forehead tika, jewels, and fine silks will be a memory of youth. Sacred henna on her hands and feet will wash away in no time. She will learn words and habits of his harem, how to chisel her face, how to wear the necklace of name-calling when she forgets a button on his shirt, hot water for his bath. When food is not cooked to his taste, she will hear the dishes break while crackling the knuckles of her clammy hands. Headaches and body aches will be taken as an excuse to shirk work. She will stuff her sari in her mouth to suppress cries. She will age before getting old, die before death. A wilted lotus. His fragile body knotted and twisted, like a dry twig under a wrinkled sheet. His face painted on a pillow, pale, a wilted lotus. Tears rolled down his hollow cheeks. His lips trembled. I put my ear close to his mouth to listen. My child. I heard those words in a cloud of memories. Laughter over checker games, walk in the park at sunshine, the gift of a chatty parakeet in a cage, and the antics of our black spaniel dog. Plants are like human, he taught. All breathe and sleep at night. Then the sheet stopped moving. I, with my ear on his chest, listened for his sunken breathing. Thank you. Thank you so much.